Baseball is always considered the national pastime for the United States, but it's really the NFL that has been in the forefront of the American people. And that salary cap has increased every single year that the NFL has been in existence. That could change in 2021. Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, I wanted to talk about this. An article was released by overthecap.com. It's the site I use for all my salary cap information. By Jason Fitzgerald. It was released yesterday, and it's talking about what could potentially happen to the NFL and the salary cap going into 2021. Now, the NFL and the TV networks are negotiating a new contract that's going to get the NFL a ton of money. That is true. The NFL salary cap, for those of you that don't know, the players and the salary cap, they all get paid based on how much money the NFL actually makes. So if the NFL renegotiates this TV contract, the revenue is going to shoot up sky high. It's also about overall revenue. So with this whole COVID-19 thing that's going on and the potential of having stadiums with no fans in existence and none of the extras, only on TV, could really be an issue for the NFL. And according to Jason Fitzgerald, you could see a salary cap drop from the $215 million that is projected to be the salary cap in 2015 all the way down to like $133 million, which is about an $80 million swing. That would be if there was like no games played, or if there was not many people, or no one actually at the game, but they're empty stadiums. So you could potentially see an $80 million drop because you're not getting all that revenue from the fans attending games and all these different merchandise sales and everything that goes along with the NFL revenue. So how is this going to affect the NFL? This is a very terrifying thought for a lot of NFL franchises, particularly if you're looking at teams that are a little tight on the cap. So the Jets are supposed to have a lot of cap space next year. They're supposed to have right now $65 million. That's before any other extensions get added. It's before cuts. So like obviously I think Le'Veon Bell is probably someone that might be on the way out. That could potentially free up a bunch of cap space. But that's concerning, because if you were to in fact lose $80 million off your salary cap, you're talking about like 5 teams, 6 teams maybe that have enough salary cap space to not lose all their stars. And those teams are going to have a significant advantage over every other team. So those teams like the Colts, Patriots, Jaguars, Chargers, Ravens, those teams are in pretty good position if this were to be like the doomsday scenario. That's insane. We could potentially see in 2021 a ton of star free agents hit the open market because teams below the salary cap threshold will have to release a ton of players. It's unreal to think about what could potentially be for the 2021 season. And how does that affect Jamal Adams? Jamal Adams is looking for a huge long-term deal, and why would you want to pay someone that much money if you're looking to pay him $15, $16, $17 million to make him one of the highest paid safeties or match the highest paid safety contracts, but your salary cap drops from $215 to $133 million? That is a ton of money, and probably why the Jets are a little bit more in a holding formation at this point, and definitely why we saw so many one-year contracts. We always thought I thought the one-year contracts were more so to figure out if these players fit the system. We don't know what's going to happen with Adam Gase, so you don't want to be locked into certain players, and maybe part of that is true, but one-year contracts make a ton of sense if you're going to have to just destroy your salary cap. And it's going to be a really big issue. For Jamal Adams in particular, if you're looking at the salary cap of $133 million, that's equivalent to what the 2014 salary cap was. So you're talking 6 or 7 years of regression in 1 year. The highest paid safety at that point was Earl Thomas, making $10 million a year. So Jamal could seriously be hurt by this kind of cap ramification. I guess you could extend him beyond those years 4 and 5 where his big money starts to kick in year 6, 7, 8 and whatnot. And that's possible. It's more so just to kind of wrap your head around the idea. This could be why teams are not spending this crazy money that you saw in the past. Like maybe Jadeveon Clowney and Everson Griffin and Logan Ryan, all these popular free agents that have yet to sign, they may really be in some serious issues with trying to get a long-term deal. And I don't really think I don't think you're going to see big money from any of those guys. Like Clowney might get the most. I could see him getting 14 to 16 million, somewhere in that realm, maybe on a 1-year deal. It's going to be fascinating because how fast does the NFL actually rebound from this? Now, I would imagine there would probably be a lot more subscriptions to Red Zone, and there's going to be a lot more people watching on TV. But then that begs the question, if companies are failing and the NFL is getting paid by the network, but the companies that buy the ads on the network aren't buying the ads because they don't have the money to do it, does the contract for the NFL, does the NFL to the networks make it a little less valuable, at least in a sense? Now, this is really a doomsday situation for the NFL, and I don't think the $80 million hit is actually going to happen. I think what's going to happen, if worst case scenario happens and they can't play games and it's an $80 million loss, I think the players in the NFL are going to come to some type of agreement where you could spread out the destruction of those contracts over the course of a few years, so you're not hitting all 80 million in one shot. It's fascinating to me. I really like the salary cap, and I like the logistics that go into it. And this is a curveball that I didn't see coming, because if it takes the NFL another 6 years to get back up to the revenue they currently are at, that would be very, very bad for the players and teams like, I guess like the Packers that are paying Aaron Rodgers a ton of money, or what does it mean for Patrick Mahomes and the contract he could potentially get? This is going to be very, very interesting for the NFL. Guys, let me know what you think the Jets should do, what the NFL should do. Does this salary cap issue, do you think it's going to actually happen? Do you think there's going to be some type of negative ramification? Is there nothing to it? Are we going to see a continued increase moving forward? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.